First of all, Pimp C is one of the originators of this. Him, Bun B, Scarface, Mike D, and all them. Mike D used to produce they rap. Man, this is that real South. You know, that Houston, Texas, Fifth Ward type. You know, that was the real down South back then, you know, when it came to the rap game. Like ATL wasn't even in the room. Yeah, they were still doing country music. You know, before it started becoming Motown and all this stuff, you had these guys putting it down. You know, they was in there making it work. It was R&B-ish in Atlanta. They wasn't really into this gangsterness, you know, the pimpulation. You know, they wasn't on that yet. So anyway, rest in peace to Pimp C. You know, everybody felt that when he passed, you know, and it was a shock because it was something that you felt like, man, this didn't need to happen. But the way he rapped is the way he lived. You know, he lived that life to the fullest. And for him to see another rapper come along and was basically emulating him in a way, it was like, this guy's kind of like being me, but it was just a birth of these guys in Atlanta just popping up out of nowhere, like they was trapping and they were getting it. There was a lot of these dudes popping up. So it wasn't really Jeezy per se, but Jeezy was the main one, and he was the main fraud out of all of them. Because he come out some Mr. 17.5, and that really rubbed Pimp C the wrong way, because it's like, dude, you misquoting prices, you know, it's getting out of hand. With all this, everybody's a drug dealer. Everybody started to feel that, because it was, most of this was done because of the lack of support Pimpulation got. Pimpulation was put out, and it went gold, but it was actually an album that should have went platinum. It didn't have a lot of support with the videos, you know, and in Houston it had a lot, but Atlanta really wasn't showing it no love the way it should have. And this was part of, you know, it was supposed to be a celebration of Pimp C. You know, he coming home, he came with the DVD and all that, but the problem was, it just, people was like, yeah, it's alright, and we got Jeezy, you know, and just blew him to the floor, and he's like, look, I'm real, this dude's fake, you know, basically, just, this dude ain't what he talking about. And he had been on the song with that Get Throw with Jeezy back in like 05, so he remember when Jeezy wasn't really nothing at the time. He was just one of these guys trying to come up in the game, but he's like, look, dude, we know you. We know you wasn't out there selling nothing. You wasn't no snowman. So, and all this misquoting prices and stuff on songs, people, you know, people who really doing it, like, this dude sounds ridiculous. And that's ended up being the fallout between, you know, Pimp C and Jeezy and all this stuff. So Jay heard the interview, everybody heard the interview, was taken and ran out. So, you know, Jay called C, and they tried to work everything out, you know, like talk it down. And he was like, man, I ain't mean no disrespect, but things out of hand. But Pimp C and Jay was always cool, you know. Jay used to love Pimp C, you know, because he basically saved Volume 3 with Big Pimpin'. When he came on the song, that was it, you know. So, and what happened was, Jay-Z went and did a whole nother verse, you know, like trying to really sell the single. So when they put the video out, it's different. The verse is different at the end. That's on the video version. But anyway, Big Pimpin' sold Volume 3 when Volume 3 stalled. Because the follow-up single they had didn't really do anything. And once that happened, they were like, look, we need to have another single here to come out and smash. And basically, Big Pimpin' just basically saved the album. Now, he calls Pimp C, they get a sit down, they talk everything out, and Jeezy never responded to Pimp C. Because one, you don't respond to Pimp C, and that's what some of these people don't understand. Like, he had so much rep in the game, like, that wasn't going to be the thing you do. Especially if you wasn't living that life. You don't talk to a man that was living that life. You know what I'm saying? Like that. And that was part of the problem. But they addressed it. It got taken care of. And unfortunately, C passed away like a little bit after that. So that was like one of the last things people really heard from him about these dudes who was not living a life in Atlanta. And now look at Atlanta now. It's like completely out of control with these people who saying they doing stuff that they ain't. You know, it is rap, but you gotta be a little serious sometimes. You know? I'm out.